Hello and welcome to another video lecture. In today's lecture, we will be talking about the third week of embryonic development. The third week of embryonic development is also known as week of 3 because it comprises of 3 important events, and also because in this week the 3 germ layers are formed. The 3 important events include gastrulation, notochord formation and neural tube formation, and the 3 layers of embryonic disc are ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. At the end of the second week of development, this embryo was fully implanted inside the endometrial wall, and this embryo was consisted of the central 2 layers, epiblast and hypoplastic layers, and 2 cavities, amniotic cavity and blastocele cavity, with the extraembryonic mesoderm with its 2 layers, and cytotrophoblast and syncytotrophoblast. As the third week of development starts, the process which occurs is gastrulation. Gastrulation is the process by which the 3 germ layers are formed. First of all, a primitive streak is formed as a groove or depression on the surface of the embryonic disc. And with the formation of this primitive streak, it is now possible to recognize the caudal end and the cranial end of the embryo, as the primitive streak is always formed from the caudal to the cranial end. Once the primitive streak is formed, the epiblast cells migrate inside and downwards towards the hypoblast. They differentiate and replace the hypoblast layer to form a new layer called endoderm. After that, more and more cells of the epiblast migrate, differentiate, and form a new layer between the epiblast and the hypoblast called the mesoderm. And the remaining cells of the epiblast become ectoderm layer. The result of gastrulation process is the formation of this trilaminar embryonic disc, which consists of ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Each layer of this trilaminar disc is responsible to give rise to specific organs of the body. Once the trilaminar disc is completely formed, the notochord is formed by further differentiation of the mesodermal cells. The reason why notochord formation is important is because it helps in the process of neurulation, it helps in the development of axial skeleton, and also the nucleus pulposus of the vertebral disc. Inside the epiblast layer or the newly formed ectoderm layer, cells begin to mound up and fold into a groove called the neural groove. The neural plate deepens more and more until the neural folds come together and bind with each other. On round about day 22, the neural folds bind with each other, and as a result, a neural tube arises. The mesoderm along the sides of the neural tube form segments called somites. Once the neural tube is established, some cells from the neural tube detaches and now are called neural crus cells. These cells also give rise to a number of necessary organs, hence are considered the 4th germ layer. And with this ends the third week of development.